take time, focus and it'll be fine, girl.
Hello there, this is Stuart Ford from Stuart Ford Fitness and Martial Arts Instruction, and this is Sunday the 25th of May 2020. So if you just tuned in, this is Tai Chi in a Box, which is part of my Coach in a Box free online series. It's the first of 4 episodes, so we're running over 4 weeks. So if you've tuned in and you're still in date, then you can always try this one, and you can always of course try the ones afterwards. Before the 4 weeks are up. So what is Tai Chi? Tai Chi is a traditional old Chinese martial art, and it's also used as a health exercise. Some people call Qigong. It's quite similar to this, but the movements and the postures are rooted in a martial arts. So either way you want to use it for, it's great for health, great for balance, great for coordination, energy flow, flexibility, stability, knee strength, a whole multitude of different things. This is being broadcasted live on Zoom. I did expect to have a few people with me today, but no one's turned up as yet, but they may turn up as we go along, so we shall see. I might have to cut in and let them in as we go. So we're going to get started and see how we fare. Right, so to start with, we're just going to place our feet together, and this is sometimes called Wuji posture. So we're just relaxing into our posture. It's kind of the nothingness, the start of our movement. You can close your eyes. We're just gently breathing, relaxing, focusing our mind. Okay, always nice to do our respects, which I kind of forgot just at the start there, so we can place our right fist into our left palm and just push forward slightly. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just step out to about hip to shoulder width apart, not too wide. And we're going to sit down slightly. So if I show you this from the side. Okay, so we've got a little even bend in our ankles, knees and hips. So a comfortable sit down. You could go lower, you don't have to go very low here. Then we're going to just lift up the arms into a holding the ball position here in front of the chest. I'll show you again from the front here. So our fingers are coming in to meet each other, our toes are facing forwards, heads up and the chin's tucked in. You can imagine we've got a cord attached to the top of the back of our head. It's kind of holding us up from the ceiling. So we're stretching there, no slumped posture of the head. Okay, then you can close your eyes. And we're just going to stand like this for a few minutes. Making sure we're stood quite evenly on our feet, so we've got the weight on our heels as well as the balls of the feet. The toes aren't scrunched up, they're nice and relaxed, pressing down to the floor. Relaxing the thighs is always people find quite difficult. Relaxing the shoulders. Relaxing the back, especially if you have any kind of back problems. A lot of back problems can come from stress, the same as many ailments that we can get in our shoulders, hips, tension. So this is a good way of listening to the body and trying to decide if anything needs more attention. You can just let that slowly go, focus on that area, breathe into it if that thought helps you, and then breathe that tension away. Okay, well, we could do longer, but we're just going to come with our feet together now. It seems we're doing this as a teaching program as well. Just cut that a bit short, but you can always spend longer when you're by yourself. So we just come back to our Wuji posture. We've got our palms one on top of the other and over our tummy below our navel. The ladies have right palm first, just below your belly button, then the other palm on top, and gentlemen, left palm first and then the right palm on top. And that contact just helps us to feel and bring our awareness to our navel, and so then we can focus on that area is our energy reservoir, or Dantian. And we're just trying to bring our energy back down to that area to focus. Breathing should be nice and gentle and natural. Okay, so now we've still got our eyes shut, but you can open yours if you're watching what I'm doing. But I'm just bringing my palms together and then rubbing them together, warming them up, and again bringing that sensation back to my palms. And I'm going to place my hands over my eyes and face, and then just slowly circle around a bit like you're washing your face or massaging it after it feels stressed at the end of the day in the eyes. Then we're going to work over the head. Down the back of the head. And the back of the neck. And then together again with the palms. And we're going to place them over the kidney area. So I'll show you from behind here. It's a nice cut. And we're going to circle around to massage the kidney area, like lower back, lumbar. A lot of tension accumulates. And back together again. And it's going to come from the top of the head and then just stroke down the face, the chin, down the back of the head and neck. Cross over behind the ear and then come down the back of the side of the neck, back and side of the neck, outer arm, and then down off of the ring finger, and then change to the other side. Same thing again. Okay, so very sort of simple Qigong exercises, easy to think about, easy to relax, not too much going on. So I like to keep my Qigong if I can. Okay, so now we're just going to step our foot back out to about shoulder width apart, and we're going to loosen. So loosening is 3 exercises. Our first one, we're just going to rise ourselves up nice and tall, so we straighten the legs, shoulders are relaxed, sink down, and then turn to one side. And as you turn, just let the arms swing around the body. So this is just a slowed down version of what we're doing. Stand up again so we're facing straight and we're evenly balanced. And then we're going to sit down and turn to the other side. And we're going to let the arms wrap around the body. Up, down and turn. So we're staying centrally balanced, up, down and turn. And we're rotating our waist rather than turning our hips, we're letting the waist rotate. Stand up, down, stand up, down. And then just try to increase this speed. And then I just relax the arms. The arms aren't actually doing anything. I'm not lifting them with my shoulder muscles. I'm just rising and falling and turning, and then I let that movement swing my arms like a rag doll. These are loosening exercises. You want to get the body, the joints used to loosening into following the body. You want the limbs to follow the body rather than the body trying to follow certainly the arms. And don't be afraid to let these arms slap around your body, striking around your lower back and your shoulders. You can do, again, as many of these as you like. Remember, we've got this rise and fall going on. People sort of forget this as well. It becomes quite subtle as you get used to doing it. And there's also like your warm up, so you can do quite a few of them. Okay, and then number 2 is probably the easy one actually out of the 3. So we stand up and just relax the arms, throw down as we sit down. So again, we just sink through the legs, a bit like we've been kicked in the back of the legs. And remember to keep the head up nice and straight. And just try to get this timing correct. So as we sit down and suddenly stop with the legs, the arms then hit the bottom, carry on swinging back, and say the bottom of the movement, not your butt, and carry on swinging back. And then as the arms swing forwards again, you stand up with them, and that way you can increase the momentum. So one's following the other, they're both kind of following each other, encouraging each other. And again, we're sitting down evenly, so a lot of people will be doing this kind of with a forwards here, which is wrong. Yep, so we need to sit down so that we have a little tilt forwards with our back, like a semi-squat. So if I carried on going, yes, into a squat, which we can't do with a vertical posture as we sit down because we fall backwards. Okay, then on to the last one, which people definitely tend to find the hardest. So we've got keeping our legs straight now. Then I'm going to turn each hip here. So if we just let the arms relax and go by themselves here, they just kind of spin around the body. But what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we push the hip forwards enough so it sends the arm swinging straight. So it's just angling that energy, power through your movement so that the arm swings forwards and not around your body. I'll show you this from the side here. And as soon as one's got to its extreme forwards, you're pulling back and then the other one's going. It's a constant interchange. And with all of these as well, your joints, your shoulders, your elbows are shuddering as they pull down. So it's a little kind of a pull apart of your, like this, with your tendons and your muscles, your ligaments, little shocks into them, which is strengthening them as well as loosening them. Okay, so we can only do as many of those as we want, but just do them slowly if you really struggle. You can try doing slowly and correctly, and then you can try just kind of doing small movements, not thinking about too much of the technique and the posture, just getting this one thing correct, you know. So we've got sort of a few ways that you can do it to try to learn the exercise. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to practice some. That's our sort of warm up out of the way for now. We're going to practice some stepping exercises. So it gives us a way of leaving the hands out of the equation for a bit until we get used to what we're doing with the feet when we do the form. The form that we're going to be doing is called the 24, or the simplified Tai Chi set. It's part of the Yang system, which is the most popular Tai Chi system, and the 24 is the most popular Yang system, if you like. It's a simplified version, and it's used for competition quite often, so it's a standardized form of Tai Chi, so it's recognized across the different Tai Chi styles within competition, so it's easier to judge. But it also keeps the numbers simple, it keeps it a smaller amount, it's easier to learn, obviously. So that's what we're doing, and the form is a linking of movements and motions that finish in postures. They're called postures, but the transition to the posture and the posture itself are all very important, and they're martial arts techniques. So once you sort of understand that, then they can be used as such. It takes a long time to learn in that sense, but whether you're learning it for a martial art or whether you're learning it for health, you still want to try to have the same energy that goes into the martial art. Okay, so you still want to have that same feeling, understanding of what the techniques are that you're doing, so you can project some kind of power into that, which then encourages blood flow, muscle flow, energy, qi if you're talking in Chinese, but that's basically just a way of saying energy. Okay, so that's what we're going to accumulate in, is doing these movements and these postures. So the leg work, if we break down some leg work to start, will just help us to understand how to use the feet first of all, and then we'll put the arms on top of that. It won't be so as difficult to do. So first of all, and also because we're doing this in a small room, all of these forms and movements are adapted to fit into a small room. So we're going to be doing kind of Tai Chi on the spot, if you like, rather than trying to move in you probably need something in the region of 4 meters plus to do something in one direction, a couple of meters forwards and back to do the 24. But we've not got that, so we're going to be doing it on the spot. So our first one, so I can show you from the back here. If we start with the feet hip width apart, and then we're going to turn out the right foot to 45 degrees, sit our weight down onto our right leg, and then step the left foot forwards, not too far, so I'm not having to say step forwards. I don't have to reach outside of the balance of my right leg here, which way around you're seeing this, but you don't have to reach outside the balance of the leg that you're standing on. And then I've got about 2 fists width apart, if I come down to show you here, between the front heel and the back heel. So you'd have 1 to 2 fists width apart would be a good sort of way to do most of your stances, but they change, they vary throughout the form. But this is our basics. So I can do a back weighted posture here, or I can do a forward weighted posture, sometimes called bow stance. And back here, sometimes called 60-40, 60%-ish on the back leg, 40 on the front, but doesn't matter what you call it. So from here, I can sit back and turn out the left toes. And as I'm doing this, I'm not just turning the toes, I'm turning the hips. But this knee, I'm not letting it twist right the way in. I'm always trying to keep the knees, if you can, facing with the toes. Okay, a lot of people say, oh, Tai Chi gives you bad knees, but only if it's practiced with poor posture. And trying to do too much with not having the strength and flexibility in your legs. So if you try to keep a simple rule of the knees and the toes, always basically try to face the same direction. That's going to save your knees and it's going to strengthen them. So we're turning the hips, the knees again facing correctly here. The weight's all gone back to my right leg, and I'm just bringing the left foot back, stepping it down next to the right foot. That's at 45 degrees now. And then I'm going to change out and I'm going to place my other foot forwards. Okay, and then just put a little bit of weight to that. So at the moment I'm doing this in this back weighted posture. So again, my back toes are 45, my front toes are facing straight, and it's a good general rule to try to follow. Sit back again, turn out the left toes, the right toes, sorry, in this case. Come back, level with your other foot, 45 degrees it's placed down, and then I'm stepping forwards, heel first with the left foot, and then just roll that down and place a little bit of weight onto it. And again, nice and relaxed in your back, head up and the chin in, arms just relaxing down by your sides. Sit back, turn out the toes, bring it back, bring the other foot forwards, heel down first. Sit back, turn out the toes, back, press down, and then so we're just changing out the feet. So what I would use this for in when I'm traditionally doing the class is to walk forwards. Yeah, so if I just come back one step here, so you could sit back, turn out the toes, place the weight forwards, and then step through. And then sit back, turn out the toes, down, place the weight forwards, and step through. Okay, so that's what we'd be doing if I was teaching this in a class rather than on the spot, if I was teaching it in a physical class. So, but otherwise we're moving forwards here. Now if you can see from the side here, if that helps at all. Yeah, so I've got my left foot forwards here, my right toe is facing out to the side. sit back, turn out the toes, down, and then bring the foot through, sit back, turn out the toes, down, bring the foot through. Okay, so that's walking forwards, but on the spot, we're doing sit back, turn out the toes, bring it back, place it next to the other foot, and then forwards. Sit back, turn out the toes, bring it back, and step through. And this still works from a martial sense as well. You know, we're not always needing to move forwards with the ground. It might be something that we do for a martial technique on the spot here, you know, whatever that may be. Okay, so obviously you can practice as many of those as you like, but we're going to move on. So our next one is we're going to look at turning. So we've got stepping forwards or backwards or on the spot. This is in a linear sagittal plane through the body, straight forwards. Now we're going to look at how to turn. So our first one's a 90 degrees turn. What I'll do is I'm going to bring myself back to the back edge of the room here. Back corner of the room, so it's the back right corner. So if you're doing this with me, we're facing at a diagonal here across to the my left here. I'll show how this is coming across to you. But I'm just kind of off from the corner of the room with my left toes. Okay, so I'm going to push forwards into a bow stance. My weight's on my front leg already, so I'm doing this from bow stance. Then I'm going to turn to the right side. My weight's all on the left leg here. And I'm just going to pick up the right foot, bring it in slightly, place the heel down. And again, I've not tried to step forwards, I've just brought it in really. Then place the weight down onto the right foot. And then to adjust the back foot to get it back to 45 degrees, pivot on the ball of the foot. So I lift my heel and place the heel outwards. So that's now 45, and my right toes are now facing straight forwards. Okay, so then we can go back again. So all we're going to do is we're always going to be turning through the front face of our body. So I stay on the right leg, and I should put all the weight onto the right leg here now. Pivot through 90 degrees to my left. Bring the foot in slightly, place it down, and then pivot on the ball of the back foot, the right foot here, and take the heel back out again to 45 degrees. Okay, so we can just keep on repeating that. So pivot to the right, bring the foot in slightly, place that down, and then adjust the back foot. Pivot to the left, bring the foot in slightly, down, and then pivot on the ball of the right foot. Pivot to the right, in slightly, down, and pivot. Pivot to the left, down, and pivot. Pivot to the right, in slightly, down, and pivot. So we're transitioning with this one here. Of course, I said about doing it on the spot, but these, this one and the next one will move slightly in one direction, but it's not like they're walking forward. So you can see you can do a fair few of them on the spot before you gain too much ground. Okay? And we're doing all of those ones we're doing this bow stance here. It's sometimes called bow stance because this is kind of the front of the bow here, and this is the arrow coming all the way through the body here in a nice straight line through the leg and the upper body. And we could have done the first exercise as well in bow stance. We can do them in both, back weighted or bow stance. The only difference with a bean, so here the only difference with a bean is that I've got to push further back. So in a way it's a nicer exercise to practice because you've got more movement from front to back. Then I can bring the foot back, place down, place forwards, and then push into the stance. Sit back, turn out the toes, back, forwards, and then push into the stance. Okay? So just going back to that, so a different way of practicing, because the bow stance is actually used more often in the Tai Chi form than the back weighted posture. So yeah, so when you're completing a movement, it's quite commonplace to see that. So next up, we're going to do, so we've done a 90 degree turn, so now we're going to do bigger turns. Now we say 90 degree, the next one's going to be 180. but these are just ways of doing up to a certain angle generally, or up to a larger angle generally, but we can do less or more in each of those turns. It depends on your flexibility and strength. It's just showing you two different variations of turning. So the first one, or the first turn we did there, was just to turn off to one side. We kind of, we're facing this way, just to go slightly off to one direction. The next one's all about reversing and going the other way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step facing this way again in bow stance. Here. Right, so we're in bow stance, and then I'm going to sit back and bring the toes back with me. So the weight's all on the front leg here to start. Sit back, place the weight on the back leg, pull the toes in. Then I'm going to pivot on the ball of the right foot, and all of the weight goes to the left foot. Then bring the foot around you, bearing in mind that when I face my new direction, I want to get back with this slight gap from heel to heel sideways between the legs, a fist or two width apart. Then place the foot down, and then pivot on the ball of the back foot again, just to adjust to get that 45 degrees. So again, I end up with toes straight and on the front leg, and then toes 45 degrees on the back leg. Now, so another thing is, this one we're going to be moving backwards as we go slightly. So I'm going to go away from the screen so we can get a few of these in. So again, right foot's forwards at the moment, so I'm going to sit back to the left leg, pull in the right toes, sit to the right leg and pivot. Arc the foot around to the heel, and I've not, you see, like I'm still in my balance here, I'm just sitting that down, so I should be able to lift it up and down rather than try to step away from myself. People always try to step too far, come out of their range of balance, and then they're always struggling. Okay, so it arcs around, ball of the foot comes down, and then pivot on the ball of the back foot to adjust again. Sit back to the right, foot comes in, sit back to the left, arc the foot around, down and sit down. Sit back, turn, around and down. So this is sometimes called the swing step, and this nice fluid motion that you can have here. Okay, so I'm just running out of space here, so what I could do here is I could change my feet, and then I'm going to go back the other way. So now I'm going to go away from the camera. In, down. Just because we do this arcing around with the foot, it means that we end up sort of going backwards. And down. Okay, so there's our three main steps that I wanted to have a look at doing. Again, try to practice these as often as you can. Often when people come and first start the classes, they go away with a mind full of too much. There's loads to learn as you go through it, but if you can just get a small amount, then you're going to get a good benefit from that, from a health point of view at least. So we did to start the holding the ball, standing position. Really invaluable exercise, just for your mind, for your body, for strengthening, for relaxing, for de-stressing, and for learning about your body. So a really good exercise. And of course, there's not much to remember there, you're just sitting down, and as you do that, you'll gradually understand how to hold your posture better. You'll learn about your body. We have the loosening exercises, so just warming up really. You can, again, you'll understand this more as you go along, but if you can just remember one of them, maybe just this one, very simple one to get used to, just dropping at the knees and relaxing the arms down. And then we had the stepping techniques. Again, if you can just do the one on the spot, you have to keep on going through these. You can just go back through the video if you've got that. Yeah, so you've got those. So another one that we're going to do now is the beginning of the form, the opening part of the form. but it's great as a Qigong exercise. And Qigong really is just a moving meditation. It's more fluency, more dynamic. So you can kind of imagine your first one as a standing meditation. You're holding the ball, stillness, and now we're going to get that energy with that same focus, relaxation, and move through it. So from your Wuji posture, your straight posture to start, just a little bit here. We're going to step out shoulder width apart. The knees are softened, but we're not bending here, not to start with. And the 24 doesn't start with a bent knee, it starts with straight knees. So we'll start this in the same sense. Turn the palms to face backwards. Lift your arms up in front and extend your fingers. Now we can bend the knees and sit down, and we're pushing the palms down towards the floor. And then lifting again. And then sinking down towards the floor and lifting. Okay, let's just talk a little bit about this and some of the finer points. When we lift, if I can show you this from slide on here, harder to show this from the stood position, so I'm just going to start from the sat down position. So as you lift, I'm starting the movement with my legs, up through my feet, up through my hips, or waving up through the body, and then ends up transitioning up through the body, through the arms, and out through to the fingertips. And as I sit down, I can kind of imagine myself pressing down onto a surface, maybe something that has some levers that you can push down, or you can think of maybe a big balloon that you can press down onto, something like a stability ball or Swiss ball. And you can sit down towards that, pressing down. And my head doesn't wilt and drop. My head again is always being pulled back up in the opposite direction. Elbows, a lot of people do this, their elbows are out here like this, or their elbows are out and their fingers are facing forwards. Elbows should be more facing backwards, in a more neutral position. If it's not neutral for you, you might have to just wind them in a little bit. Okay, this is the external rotator cuff, which people often struggle with. So you're pressing down towards the floor and the head's lifting back up. A lot of times where people end up going too low down here, especially too low for them. So don't try to oversink that. Think about what's comfortable for your legs. There's a reason for that as well, I'll tell you in a moment. So again, we lift up, extend the fingers away, and then sink down, pressing towards the floor. Lift up. So the hands are dropped to start, shoulder height, they extend forwards. Then start to relax, the elbows get heavy, dropping down, sink down towards the floor. As I lift, I'm going to breathe in through the nose, gently. As I descend, I'm breathing out. And it's one of the exercises you can really kind of get into. Very simple as far as Tai Chi goes. Again, plenty going on in there. Okay. So I mentioned about another reason for not going too low, and one of the things is this is the opening part of the form, and after we sit down into the form, that height that we go down to should be the height that we stay at. Okay, so if you've gone too low in the first place and you start trying to move around balancing on one leg for any part of time, any length of time, then you're going to really struggle with this. So it has to be relative to what you can cope with. Okay? And then the stronger and more supple you get, the lower you can sink down, if you like. So what we're going to do now then is we'll open with that again, and then we'll start moving into the first part of the form. And we're just going to do sort of the first one or two postures today. So I'll do these facing away, okay, so you can see this from here, but I'll also change from time to time, and so you can see from both. So we're starting with the feet together. Forward one step here. We step out to shoulder width, so this is all our traditional opening pattern. The palms turn to face backwards. Starting off, we're lifting water, sinking down, and then we're going to hold the ball to the right. So we're going to place the weight to the right leg and then bring the arms across to the side here. And I'll show you this from the right side here. So I've started off sinking down. Now place the weight to my right leg and bring the left toes in, and then the arms, and keep the armpits nice and open. I'm naturally rested into this and sat into my right leg, letting that stretch and open at the hip, and my palms are kind of facing each other, wrists straight. Elbows should always be a bit lower than the hands, and the shoulders nice and soft as well. So lower than the hand. This one's lower than the hand here. The lower one is different, but if you're lifting up into the air with the hand. Okay. So again, from the side, from the back here. Starting off, opening, sitting down. Taking the weight to the right side. My left hand goes low, facing palm up. My right arm's high with the palm facing down. Now I'm going to step back, not 90 degrees, but wider, so we're going back to 135 degrees here. This next posture is called parting the horse's mane, or wild horse. Place the foot down, my toes are facing slightly out from 90 degrees here, so I'm going a bit wider than 90 degrees, but not too far. Then I'm going to open out my arms with the left arm forwards, the right arm down. I pivot on the ball of the back foot to get that 45 degrees. So we've already kind of gone through those legs, how to do the positioning of the feet. That's what we're doing. So my left arm's forwards, palms facing up, my right arm's down, palm facing down. I'll show you this from different postures here. So if I was doing this from, if I'd gone into this direction, I'd be kind of here. I'm more aligned with my stance here, and this is going through my left shoulder. So my shoulders and my hips are on the same alignment. The right palm's down here. Okay, and then from this side here. Okay, so this is kind of as if my lead was going exactly to the wall here, I'm straight like this on. I am 90 degrees to the room here, but we'll be doing this, it will be on a slant. So if we think about this being 90 degrees turn here, and then we go a quarter of the way between, or 45 degrees more from there to the next 90 degree turn, that's where we are. It's 135 degrees from the exact start here to your left side. Okay, so we'll do that again. Start with the opening, stepping out, arms turn the face back, starting off, sitting down, holding the ball to the right hand side. This left foot, I'm just trying to touch the toes if I need to. Essentially, you don't have to touch the foot down, this could just be a hovering foot, but you can use it just to help steady your balance. Then I'm going to turn back to this 135 degrees. I'm not letting this right knee twist in. So essentially, if you can't turn that far, then just step around as far as you can for now. And then we can work with that later. My weight's still on my back leg. I've not put weight on my right leg. I've not put weight onto my left leg yet. And then I'm going to sink the weight forwards, open out, and pivot on the ball of the back foot. And again. Stepping out, starting off, sinking down, hold the ball to the right, turn back to the left, the preparation phase, open out, left arms forwards, right arms back, left palms turning up into the air, the right palm is facing the floor so that wrist is cocked, and they're splitting apart from each other. Okay, I think that's probably going to be fine for today for your opening section. You've got plenty to work with there. This parting the horse's mane is going to be done 3 times. We're going to do once here, then we're going to turn back to the right and then back to the left again. And then what we'll do is we'll pick up on that from the next one. We'll move through a little bit more fluid to get to the same points, and then just try to push forward a little bit further, and then into the next postures as well. Right, so I hope you've enjoyed that. As you say, this is being broadcasted live at the moment. I've got another 3 episodes to go over the next 3 Sundays. And so if you're watching this in time, I'd say this is the 25th, checking that again, 24th, so 24th of May, Sunday. So if you're in time and you're catching this on YouTube, this is where this is going to go to next, then you can follow that and come and interact with me and do that as a live session. If you don't manage to get it in that time, then you'll be watching these as just pre-recorded videos, and just to be obviously getting something out of those. And you can always get in touch with me. So my name's Stuart Ford, so this is Stuart Ford Fitness and Martial Arts Instruction, and this is the Coach in the Box series, and this one is Tai Chi in the Box. So you can see my website there at the bottom of the screen, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel as well if you get the chance. Okay, so nice to introduce this to whoever's listening, and hope to see you again. Bye for now.
It's gonna take time, focus, and it'll be fine, girl.
Trying to figure out how I'ma get out this pain. I've been hurt, live for the drop.